The unjust detention of a U.S. citizen, a story of mistaken identity and systemic failure. Juan Carlos Lopez-Gomez, a U.S. citizen born in Georgia, endured a harrowing 2-day ordeal, an unjust detention stemming from a shocking case of mistaken identity. His arrest and subsequent incarceration, at the behest of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, in Florida, ignited a firestorm of outrage and highlighted the deeply troubling flaws within the U.S. immigration system. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the chilling consequences of unchecked power and the urgent need for reform. The nightmare began on Wednesday during a routine traffic stop in Florida. Lopez-Gomez, a passenger in a vehicle en route to his construction job in Tallahassee, found himself unexpectedly arrested by the Florida Highway Patrol. The accusation? Being in the U.S. illegally. The irony is almost unbearable. This was a man born and raised in the United States, a citizen with an undeniable birth certificate. The arrest triggered immediate distress for his mother, Sebastiana Gomez Perez, who witnessed her son's remote court appearance on Thursday, a harrowing experience described by the Florida Phoenix, the first outlet to report this injustice. The scene unfolded against a backdrop of increasingly aggressive anti-immigration actions spearheaded by the Trump administration, actions that have disproportionately targeted documented individuals, including U.S. citizens, and frequently disregarded court rulings. This blatant disregard for due process and basic human rights has become a recurring theme, echoing the false and inflammatory claims made years ago about Barack Obama's birthplace. The parallel to those unfounded allegations is chillingly resonant. The legal basis for Lopez-Gomez's detention was profoundly flawed. The arrest stemmed from Florida's SB 4C law, signed by Governor Ron DeSantis in February. This legislation designates it a first-degree misdemeanor for undocumented immigrants over 18 to knowingly enter Florida after eluding or avoiding examination or inspection by immigration officers. However, a federal court wisely issued a temporary restraining order in April, halting enforcement of this discriminatory law. The absurdity of this situation was laid bare when Leon County Judge LaShawn Riggins dismissed the misdemeanor charge after community advocate Sylvia Alba presented Lopez-Gomez's birth certificate in court during his initial hearing. The undeniable proof of his citizenship was irrefutable. The arbitrary nature of his detention highlights a broader concern: the misuse of ICE detainers. These detainers, requests from ICE to local law enforcement, ask for the detention of individuals deemed removable aliens for up to 48 hours, ostensibly to allow DHS, Department of Homeland Security, to assume custody. However, the system is susceptible to catastrophic errors. As the Immigration Legal Resource Center points out, numerous U.S. citizens have been wrongly subjected to ICE detainers, enduring prolonged detention and even facing removal despite irrefutable proof of citizenship. These detainers, lacking probable cause, are illegal, yet ICE continues to deploy them, exposing itself to potential liability. The 2-day ordeal finally concluded on Thursday evening with Lopez-Gomez's release, confirmed by CNN, citing a family spokesperson. The image of a visibly emotional Lopez-Gomez surrounded by supporters, shared by Thomas Kennedy of the Florida Immigration Coalition, is a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of injustice. Kennedy's heartfelt message: "He is free." Thank you to everyone who shared, called, and did anything to help secure his release, underscores the collective effort required to counteract such systemic failures. This incident is not an isolated occurrence. It is a symptom of a deeper, systemic issue within the U.S. immigration system, a system marred by unchecked power, flawed procedures, and a disregard for fundamental rights. The Lopez-Gomez case should serve as a wake-up call, a catalyst for urgently needed reforms to prevent similar injustices from occurring again. The arbitrary use of ICE detainers, the disregard for court rulings, and the potential for mistaken identity to lead to wrongful detention are all serious flaws demanding immediate attention. The fight for justice, for due process, and for the protection of basic human rights must continue. The release of Juan Carlos Lopez-Gomez is a victory, but it is far from the end of the battle. we must strive to ensure that no other U.S. citizen suffers the same ordeal. The fight for comprehensive immigration reform, one that prioritizes human rights and due process, is far from over. This case serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing need for vigilance and advocacy in the pursuit of a more just and equitable immigration system. The legal and ethical ramifications of this case demand a thorough investigation and meaningful changes to prevent such injustices in the future. The systematic failings that led to this wrongful detention cannot be ignored, and the pursuit of justice for Mr. Lopez-Gomez and others wrongly detained must continue. The fight for immigration reform, a fight for fundamental human rights and due process, is far from over, and the lessons learned from this case must be heeded.